It is Bones. And in this video, we're going to take a quick look at the new release from the DC animated universe, Batman, Death in the Family. Now, I recently picked this up at Target. I just came across it and ended up picking it up. Wasn't too sure about it, but now I know a little bit more about it. The thing about this is that it is a short. It's not really a full film. Much like every time they released a DC animated movie, they had different shorts, like The Spectre and Sergeant Rock. Jonah Hex was the very first one, which were little like 10-15 minute movies showcasing different characters from the DC universe. So they released this, but this is kind of like a short with different choices you could make to make different adventures, something like that. This is sort of like a prequel to Batman Under the Red Hood. Of course, this is my collector's edition with a little Red Hood figure. But Batman Under the Red Hood is a story of what happens to Jason Todd after he is presumed dead at the end of the Death in the Family storyline from the comics, which is another interesting story that has to do with when they were doing Batman and Jason Todd became Robin. Some people liked him and some people didn't. The editor probably didn't really like him, but the writer did. And they had a toss-up of if they should kill him or keep him alive. And they did like a phone, a call-in, a vote. This was a really cool story. Had some awesome cover by Mike Mignola. I remember having some of these when I used to have my comic collection, and it was a pretty good series. So they had the vote, and it ended up coming out that Jason Todd was killed. But of course, like in a lot of comics, people don't really stay dead forever. They always have a way to bring him back. And he actually came back as one of the better characters ever. One of the more popular characters right now, which is the Red Hood, Jason Todd version. Playing off of that, they made this little short, and what it is you could choose your adventure. Like you could choose if he actually dies or if he lives. Now, I didn't really watch a lot of this one. Once you get the Blu Ray, if you open it up, it just has your basic Blu Ray disc and a digital code. But I started watching this, and if you pick he dies, which is basically what originally happened, it's like a little 20-minute kind of short where it's like the prequel to Batman Under the Red Hood. And it also explores a little bit more. Like it adds a couple of scenes between him and between Batman and Superman, and it shows a little bit more details that you didn't really see in this, which were like added on, I guess. So you get more of a full story of what was going on when this story was going on, which was actually pretty cool. But I have yet to go ahead and look at the other ones, like What If He Lived. I think the other one was What If Batman Saved Him, and that branches you off into different choices. I did see online that in one of them Red Robin appears, and in another one Hush appears, which just goes to show you that all the other adventures just break off into different stories possibilities that could happen. This was pretty cool to pick up. I mean, I'm gonna add it to the collection. I'm gonna watch a couple of the different versions of what could happen, which would be pretty cool. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was Jason Todd, because he's one of my favorite characters, and we've never really had an official like Jason Todd figure released. I mean, they had DC Direct ones, they had Arkham ones, but none of them were actually ever comic book accurate. They were more like based on the video games, or they were just weird ones. Like, I remember there's one that was almost perfect, a Jason Todd figure, but he had like crazy blades coming out of his arms, and they were not removable. They were like permanent, so it just like really made the figure like kind of weird. Until Mattel had its Red Hood release. Now, that one is notorious because Red Hood, it had two alternate heads, the unmasked Jason Todd and then the Red Hood. But when you would put the Red Hood on, they just made it to where the head sat like really low on the shoulders, so it looked like his head was like sunken down, and it looks pretty funny. It just doesn't look right. So I have three Red Hood figures, and I made my own custom where I did a couple of things actually. I touched up the silver on him, on his zippers and on his boots, and then another thing they messed up in is that the guns were not removable from the holsters, which I don't know why Mattel did that, but probably just to because they were mad that they were about to lose the license maybe. But it was really bad. He was from their final wave that they ever released. So I hollowed out the holsters and took out like what was supposed to be the guns in there, and then I painted some regular black Mattel guns to silver, and they can actually go in and out of the holsters, which is pretty cool. But the other thing I did is I modified the head to where you could put the Red Hood head in and it doesn't sink down all the way to the like really low, and then it has a little bit more dexterity. And another thing I did is on the alternate head, which is the unmasked Jason Todd head, I added the like patch of white hair that he has. Supposedly it's from after he took the bath in the Lazarus pit, but some people have said that that's not really what it's from. That's just like a fan theory. But the original unmasked head just had black hair, and I just wanted to add it to mine. But I do have another one where it's the regular release. It's not altered or anything. That one, of course, has the guns like stuck in his holster. So then I ended up buying him a pretty cool little bike to put him on and have some fun with. So now, after this, we've recently got new pictures from McFarlane that some people have already received it actually. I think Azoka the Geek, he has a video right now on YouTube where he takes a closer look at the Jason Todd McFarlane figure, and he looks pretty good, pretty awesome. I can't wait to get mine. I'm probably going to end up getting 3 of that figure as well. It does come in a 2-pack with the variant version of Nightwing where he's in his red and black costume. But from the picture so far and from the videos I've seen, I think somebody else has it. Maybe I'm not sure who has the other one. Foosh or I don't think it's what's his name? Shartimus Prime. I think it's somebody else, but there's a couple of videos looking at the figure. But it looks pretty awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. We finally have an official cool release where the guns actually come out of the holsters. Looks pretty good. Among other figures that McFarlane's coming out with that are awesome. But like I said, that's a quick look at Death in the Family. You can pick this up at Target or Best Buy, The Beast. But there is a digital code in here. I'm not sure how the digital code works because I think I heard that you can't choose the adventures. So I don't know if the only thing that it shows is like the one I watched that's like a prequel to the Under the Red Hood, or I'm not sure actually how it works, but it does have a digital code. If anybody wants it, let me know down below and I'll get it to you. But anyways, guys, that's it for right now. I'm working on some other videos that I'm going to do some Friday the 13th stuff and some figures that I've gotten in, that have come in. So thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. See you on the next one.